Group 18's presentation on achieving effective communication.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ezia Layo Esther. Today we'll be talking about definition of effective communication. First of all, we all know that communication is one of the essential codes of life. Communication also is the process by which information is being exchanged between individuals. Effective communication, which is the main goal for today, talks about the interpretation of the information that is being passed. It also means talking and replying in a way that is best understood by the receiver. You can do that through the body language, the voice notes, and the facial expression.
My name is Wadito Benadine Uchechi. Effective communication combines the various sets of skills such as attentive listening, non-verbal communication, and the ability to deal with stress in the present situation, and also the capability to identify and understand one person's communication and the person you're communicating with. In simple words, it is nothing but the presentation of views by the sender in a way best understood by the receiver. Effective communication is also a two-way street. It is not only how you convey a message so that it is received and understood.
And in addition, effective communication also necessitates the capacity to modify communication techniques and approaches in such a way that suit various contexts, such as conforming to cultural norms and utilizing communication techniques like phones, emails, and in-person meetings. Effective communication is about more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotion and intention behind the information, as well as being able to clearly convey a message. You also need to listen in a way that gains the full meaning of what is being said and make the other person feel heard.
My name is Alabia Yomde John Paul. To add to the introduction of effective communication, to some of us, effective communication requires us to learn some important skill while trying to improve our communication with our siblings, kids, spouse, co-workers, or teammates. Learning these important skills will help us connect well with others, build trust and respect, build teamwork, and even improve our emotional and social life. Overall, effective communication is necessary in every aspect of our life, be it intimate relationship, in our work environment, and in our everyday interaction with people. Thank you very much.
My name is Aino Razak. Achieving effective communication. Effective communication helps to maintain and build relationships, both personal and professional. There are some principles of effective communication that help and guide both individuals and organizations in achieving a proper communication. By following these principles, you achieve a proper and effective communication, and it also helps to build relationship with your stakeholders. Some of these principles are clarity, listening, consistency, brevity, and so on and so forth.
And I'm here to shed more light on the principles of achieving effective communication. Clarity. You have to keep the message clear and understandable to the receiver. The use of simple languages and also avoiding technical terms and jargons. And you also have to provide enough context to avoid confusion. Brevity. You have to keep the message short, simple, and straight to the point, and avoid unnecessary details that could affect the understanding of the receiver. Listening. Effective communication is a two-way process. Listening actively and attentively is crucial in understanding the needs of the receiver. Feedback. You have to encourage feedback to make sure that the message passed has been received, and also provide an opportunity for clarification, discussions, and questions.
My name is Ademi Samuel Ascom. I'm here to talk more on principles for achieving effective communication. Consistency. In communication, consistency helps to build trust and credibility. To avoid confusion and misinterpretation, we must make use of consistent language, tone, and messaging. accuracy. The message must be accurate and factual. If the message isn't accurate, misinformation can lead to misunderstanding and mistrust, which can damage the communication process. Conciseness. The message must be concise and on point.
My name is Okoye Mbaride. I'm taking us through other factors that affect effective communication. First one is time. Second is accuracy. For timing, the timing of information can affect the receiver's ability to act on the information, and it can impede their ability to act on the information. The second one, conciseness. When transferring information to another person, you have to make sure that the message is short, concise, and straight to the point. And the last one, accuracy. You have to make sure that when you transfer information to another person, it must be factual, so it's not cause mistrust.
Hi, my name is Liadiana Tetinye. I'm here to talk about barriers of effective communication, which includes one, the use of jargons. Jargons are over-complicated, unfamiliar, and technical terms, which are very difficult to understand. For instance, a person in the law field would not understand the jargons of someone in the medical field. 2. Emotional barriers to non-verbal communication. Some people may find it difficult to express their emotions, and some topics may be off-limits or also taboos to some people. 3. Lack of attention, interest, distractions, or irrelevance to the receiver. Most people, they tend to misunderstand messages due to lack of interest or attention. 4. Physical barriers to verbal communication, to non-verbal communication. Not being able to see the non-verbal cues, gestures, postures, and body languages can make communication to be less effective.
In addition to the barriers of communication, we have use of words. Now, the sender might encode the message with the word which has a clear meaning and may connote a different meaning to the receiver. Now, at this point in time, both the receiver and the sender have different meaning of the same message. We have capabilities of the recipients. Now, disabilities of the recipient is also a barrier to communication because a blind person cannot read the message and a deaf person cannot use a telephone. So while communicating, the sender must put into consideration the capabilities of the recipient. And we also have relationship.
My name is Aninikem Chidera. Effective communication is everything we need in order to pass across an information properly. The different thing that disrupts the process of communicating effectively. One of them is jargons. So many times when people communicate, unknowingly, jargons are included in the communication process. When we talk about jargons, we mean things that are not necessary when communicating. Sometimes use of unnecessary slangs and words that the receiver doesn't understand. Another thing that disrupts communication process is cultural differences. For example, languages. Whenever you are communicating, the receiver needs to understand the language in which you are using to communicate. A Yoruba person trying to communicate to an Igbo man with Yoruba language, most times communication process is not complete because the Igbo man doesn't understand Yoruba he or she is speaking. Another thing that disrupts communication process is body languages. Body languages is a very important aspect of effective communication because the non-verbal way of passing across an information, gesticulations, facial expressions, eye contact also helps in effective communication. So with the wrong body language, you are passing across the wrong information. Another barrier to effective communication is environmental factors. Take for instance, you making a call in a noisy place, in a marketplace or in a bus stop. The receiver might be hearing something entirely different from what you are saying. So in conclusion to everything about effective communication, we have different types of effective communication, verbal and non-verbal, like I've mentioned before. Verbal communication, you speaking and the person listening. Verbal communication is not enough because it doesn't cover up everything you need to know about effective communication. Take for instance, what of a deaf person? The deaf person cannot hear what you're trying to communicate, so we need to find another means of communication. Thank God for technology. Non-verbal communication, body languages like I've said earlier, body gesticulations, hand gesticulations, eye contacts, all these are very necessary because the person's body language can be saying something entirely different from what the person is speaking. The very and part of effective communication is feedback. You need to get feedback from your receiver because the communication process is not complete without feedback from the receiver.